Welcome to The Business of Family, the podcast where we explore the stories, challenges, and opportunities of family businesses. I'm your host, Tammy Buss, and I'm a family business survivor and also a family business advisor. In this show, we will be talking with family business leaders and experts to bring you insights and inspiration so you too can survive your family business journey. Whether you're a founder, a successor, a professional, or just curious about family businesses, this podcast is for you. All right, so today my guest is Steve Kusterman, and he is a second generation family business owner with his wife Hillary, and they own Kusterman's Berry Farm. But you're much more than just berries, aren't you?
Yeah, we've grown into a whole other industry for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here today.
Oh, thank you for having us.
This is great. So anyway, let's start at the very beginning. So tell us about the history of Kustermans.
Yeah, so really, I mean, both my parents were raised on farms, so it's kind of in their blood. We lived in Delhi. Dad's an electrician for Hydro One, and mom's a nurse, and they just wanted to get back to the farm. So they found a place in Mount Bridges, and they bought it in 1979, and took a couple years to move there, but they moved my brother and myself over there when we were like 3, and we started working. So started living on the farm.
And what was the farm originally like? What were you growing? What were you doing?
So back then, I mean, there was not a whole lot. We had to do a lot of work there. There was a lot of like just garbage on the fields and stuff like that. A lot of sticks that we had to pick up and just to kind of clean it up. And then he was doing cropping or whatever, and he had some calves he was raising, and then he started with strawberries, and that was pretty much our first fruit that they started back in the day. Yeah.
So tell me the evolution to where it is today, because it's much more than just berries. I mean, it's like a family fun zone.
Yeah. So, I mean, we grew up there, and then we went to blueberries, and then Dad and I visited Chudley's, which is in Milton, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, what an atmosphere, right? Families are having a blast and busy. I just like to be busy all the time. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. So my wife and myself decided to build the market in 2010, and kind of just add more attractions every year and activities and festivals and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. So what was it like? Because obviously you were working on the farm with your dad, with your parents.
Yeah, all our brothers were. Yeah, like when we were growing up. Yeah, it was like Saturdays was work day. We'd get up early and worked all day, and we'd do whatever needed to get done. And so we just grew up on the farm and working.
So what was that evolution from going from, being a family member to actually taking over as a second generation?
Yeah. So, I mean, we kind of grew the blueberries more and more, and I got involved slowly. So basically I was putting my own investments in there and buying the plants and putting them in there. And then it was come to a point where I was actually working a second job. So working during the day, working at night on the farm. And we had a family as well that we had to raise as well. And it came to a point where I just couldn't do both. So I had to make a decision what I was going to do, whether I was going to work full time or whether I was going to be a business owner. So I decided to make the leap, and
And how was that transition, moving from, you being your parents' business to the second generation?
I mean, we evolved it, right? So it's not the same business that it was back then. It was just we had no hydro back then. It was just cash, no tills, no nothing. And it was just people coming out to pick their own berries, and it was only a short season. It was really just July and August, right? So, so I mean, we just we took that part over, and then we kind of just grew it.
And you
had more products.
And you have brothers?
I do. I have 3 siblings. Yeah.
And are they involved in the business as well?
I mean, they were early on, but they all have their own careers right now, and they still give advice. If I, sometimes you
don't siblings always give advice?
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, they're helpful that way, but they have their own careers. Yeah.
Right. And was there a process that you went through to transition that from, a conversation with your siblings and your parents to say, okay, I want to take this over. This is how it's gonna work, and what was it like going through that process?
It's always emotional when you're taking over a family business or a family farm. But yeah, I basically told mom and dad that I was interested in it, and they had to just see how all that fit. And but like I said, it was fairly small at that point. So the transition wasn't too bad compared to a larger operation, maybe. But yeah, my brothers, like I said, they have their own careers and interests and stuff like that.
So what's it like working with your wife every day?
Oh, it's good. She's also a teacher, but so she works as a teacher. But I mean, she helps me on the farm all the time as far as ideas and stuff like that. I run things through her all the time, so she's a great help that way.
And how do you make decisions when there's the two of you, or you come against you're at loggerheads on a decision, or you're at opposite ends? How do you manage that?
We have, I guess it depends on the what part of business it is. So she's of course in education, so I'm going to take her advice any day right there on that. Same with day camps and stuff like that. But when it comes to farms, I would make the decision on that.
And you have kids?
Yeah, we have two.
And how old are the kids?
My daughter's turning 20, and my son's 18. So
are they involved?
Yeah, I mean, my daughters are working for us right now. Her love is horses, so we'll see where that goes. She's going to Ridgetown, so she's involved in the farming community. And then my son, he's working for a dairy farmer right now, but he does help out on machinery at the farm too as well. And he's going to University of Guelph for ag biz. So
good.
They're still in the egg sector.
So have you talked about the business and keeping it in the family?
It'd be great. I don't want to pressure them. This is something that I kind of want them to decide on their own. So maybe go work elsewhere a little bit and develop some skill sets and stuff like that. And that opportunity will be there for them for sure. I would love to see them take over if they want it.
Have they talked about it, or have you talked about it with them?
We talked about it being an option, but yeah, we're leaving it pretty open. I'm not putting any pressure on them. No, ideally it has to come from them that they want to do it, because it's there's a lot involved, right? Like you're always doing you're greeting people all the time, and you're working weekends when everybody's off and stuff like that. So
right. Maybe you can describe for the listeners exactly what Kustermans is now. I keep saying it's not just a berry farm. So explain a little bit about the farm itself.
So, I mean, we have an adventure farm, which has many different attractions, like 50 plus attractions, and we keep adding some. So we'll take like a fire truck per se. I just bought one, and we're going to make a playground and put some slides in there, let kids go in there and pretend they're driving and pressing buttons that make sounds and stuff like that. And so we have a lot of unique attractions that you wouldn't find elsewhere. So we have that part of it. Then we have these different festivals that we created. So for instance, we have a sunflower festival, so we plant a field of sunflowers, and we have trails in there and lots of photo ops and stuff like that. We have an Easter festival, so the Easter bunny comes out and they get to do an Easter egg hunt in the berry fields and stuff like that. And then we have the attractions that would be the side piece of that. We have blueberries. We have a strawberry festival. Then we do our fall festival with pumpkins and stuff like that. And so we have a corn cannon that people get to shoot, and a corn maze. And we also do 'Tis the Season, so we have Santa Claus that comes out to the farm.
Oh wow, you're like in with all the fairy tales, or the
that's right. That's right.
That's amazing. Good for you.
Yeah.
So when you look back at being raised again from an early age on the farm, what sort of traits, or what core values do you think that your parents sort of instilled in you that you're hoping to instill in your kids, or now that they're adults, and that hopefully continues on?
Yeah, treat people right, and work hard. If you have a goal, go for it. Like don't stop. Not everything's going to go well. You're just going to have to keep working through it and solve issues. Be good at solving issues, because that's what's going to take you through the next part of business, right? So
what was the biggest struggle that you found after you took over from your parents, and you had this vision to sort of go bigger and better than what they had?
Yeah, you can't do it all yourself. Let's put it that way. You have to hire good people, and if you want to keep growing, that was tough for me to pass things off. In the beginning, you always think you can do things better, but then you realize that there's so many people that have great skill sets, and things that you're weak in, you should hire that off, and maybe just focus on the areas that you're great at.
So when your dad had the business originally, so he didn't come from a farming background, right?
No, he did.
Oh, he
Oh, yeah,
did.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
he
he
did.
and then he wanted to buy his farm. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I got
No,
that.
so he came from, yeah, he grew up as a dairy farmer,
Okay,
and
okay.
his
I was thinking he was
parents
an electrician and then
yeah, so he went off and he got his electrical license and all that, and so he worked as an electrician off the farm, and so it was more of a hobby farm that we grew up on. And but his main thing was to keep his boys busy, work as a family, and then invite people on the farm, experience the farm type thing. So yeah, it was agritourism wasn't really a thing back then.
Yeah,
More of a U-pick operation was the main thing. I mean, a lot of people have that too, right?
And so that was mainly what he was a U-pick, and then you had that vision to make it bigger after you went to another
Right. Yes.
place. And I think that's amazing. I think what a lot of people forget is that, the first generation is doing what they normally do. But sometimes the second generation comes up with some really good ideas.
Mhm.
And so do you tap into your kids, sort of visions?
I mean, yeah, I asked for their opinions for sure. Back in the day when they were kids, they would test all the equipment before just to see how they would use it.
With like helmets and all
Yeah,
that stuff
well,
in case.
there was some modifications being done, that's for sure, after they were playing on it. But yeah, you do ask them what you think where we should go and that type of thing, and get their input on that.
And do they bring their friends out and sort of give you, come together as a congregation, say, okay, this is what we need to do.
Oh,
Or,
yeah.
we've got the stuff for the little kids. Maybe we need to do something for the adults.
Right. And you do see a lot of agritourism places do that. So as your kids grow, they kind of develop into other things, more catering more to the older population as far as maybe more music stuff, or they had a cidery or something like that. Or so we're not there yet. We're still doing focusing on the families and the kids. But one of the things we used to do a haunted house, and I think maybe we'll venture back into that. We'll see how things go, but that was popular for the teenagers and adults as well. So
yeah. So from a farming perspective, then, what do you do still farming? Do you still have pick your own berries, or is it now completely?
Yeah, no, we have pick your own strawberries, which will be coming on mid-June. We have raspberries as well. We have blueberries. There is that sunflowers, which people can pick their own flower heads, and then we do pumpkins. And there's things that we can venture into if we want to get bigger. So I there's ideas for sure, but
what is that vision?
I mean, you could do apples, right? Like I think apple picking is huge. But we just have to make sure that that everything that we're doing is still good, and that you don't thin yourself too much too. So.
And do you have the property to do that, or do you have to start looking at future purchases? Like, how do you plan for this? Because like you got land, and it's not like you can just build up on it.
Right. No. So we just bought another farm close by our neighbor's farm that's just across the road, and so yeah, we have some acreage we can grow into now. So that was good to get that one.
And your son is working, as you said, in a dairy farm now. So what's his involvement in the farm currently?
On our farm?
Your farm, yeah.
So I mean, sometimes he'll work the ground with the tractor or whatever, and he likes the machinery. So we have an excavator. Sometimes he'll like clean out the ponds.
Boys and their toys.
Yes, boys and their toys. Yes. So he likes to do that type of stuff. That'd be his involvement. Yeah.
And your daughter's more involved in sort of helping out hands-on with the kids' activities and stuff in the summer?
Right. So she would help out with the public. She's going to be more behind the scenes this year. So she's painting fences and landscaping, stuff like that. Because she's going to help out for a day camp in the summertime. In July, she's working on another horse day camp. So she'll be doing that a little bit too.
Yeah. Now, are your parents still involved?
They're not. They walk around, but Dad walks around all the time, just inspects the jobs and makes sure that they're going well. But
does he have any input?
He'll give us suggestions sometimes. Yeah.
But do you take those suggestions?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I for sure do. Yeah, he's a wise man. So.
Oh, that's good. Now, with your siblings, do they have children as well?
I have two brothers that do.
And do they participate at all? Do they come in?
So currently I have a niece and a nephew that work for us part-time, and then I had the other nephew did, and the other two are still too young to work on the farm, but hopefully they'll come on board and help us out sometime.
Well, that's good.
Hmm.
And is that an option to bring on not just your own kids, but maybe other family members as potential transitions or new owners or?
I think it's possible. So yeah,
Mhm.
I for customers, I think it's best to have the person that loves it the most and wants it the most
Mhm.
to carry it on, because of, if you're forcing somebody into a business, it's just
Right.
not the right fit, right? So
And have you talked about that with your siblings?
I have not, no.
No? Maybe that's something you should talk about to say, here we've got
Yeah,
opportunities here.
there you
Keep
go.
it in the family. As long as the last name stays Kustermans, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So my wife does have some nieces and nephews that may be interested too. Who knows?
We
But
just changed your last
yeah, it
names.
could be. Yeah, for sure.
So listen, this is, I like to sort of end every podcast with sort of 3 pieces of advice
Mm.
that you would give to other family business owners. So what, or next generation or whatever. So what kind of advice would you give?
Hmm.
3 pieces.
Yeah. So if my kids were involved, I would probably suggest uh, understanding where they're good at, where their skill sets are, and have divisions. So basically, they can run it the way they want, and really develop their skills and be great at that. Um, the next part would be that business isn't always easy, right? So
Really?
don't
Really?
yeah don't think it's always
So
gonna
sunshine and
right
lollipops?
right. So you have to you just got to keep working at it and not quit, and hopefully just just grind it out. But there's great times and bad times, and you just like anything, you just have to enjoy the good times when they're here.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so that's 2 pieces.
Hmm.
What's your 3rd piece?
Yeah, you have to evolve. Like, business is always evolving. So people change, you have to change. Understand what your customer wants is a big thing.
That's a good one. I don't
Everybody
think we've
thinks
ever had that one before.
everybody thinks that, you're the owner, you get to do what you want, but that's not the case, right? So you have to
Yeah.
listen to your customers. You also have to listen to your staff, because if they're quitting on you all the time, then that's not good signs. So you have to have a happy staff place and stuff like that. So you have to take their input and what they want to as well. So it's you just gotta listen.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming in. I thought this is very informative, kind of interesting. Again, second generation evolved from farming into, what is the terminology you call
It's
it?
called agritourism.
Agritourism.
Hmm.
To go from agritourism, and who knows what the next gen will bring along.
Right.
Maybe you'll add horses and
Yeah.
all kinds of
Yeah. I
things.
don't know.
The evolution. It's amazing to watch a business evolve.
Yeah, you just never, when you start, you never know. I mean, you can have ideas where it's going to go, but you really never know where it's going to end up. And you just got to start somewhere. So
Absolutely.
if anybody's starting, you just got to start somewhere.
So where exactly is Kustermans?
So it's in Mount Bridges. So it's just outside of, it's only 15 minutes west of London. And
London, Ontario. Not
London,
London,
Ontario.
England.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And so it's not too bad. You can get up from the north side of London pretty easily, and same with the south and the west. So we have the 402, and so it's pretty close to London, and it's easy access.
What's the busiest time? What's the busiest season for you?
Fall is normally a busy
Mm-hmm.
time for the farm, so everybody seems to want to come out during that time before winter hits.
So we have a lot of listeners in the U.S. as well, so they should be coming up here for fall and enjoying the Canadian fall.
Yes, we would love that.
Anyway, again, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
If you like this episode, subscribe to the Business of Family podcast on your favorite listening platform. You can also find Blue Roots on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. On the next show, I'll be back with another amazing guest who will inspire you with their family business insights. Until then, take care and keep it in the family. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, tax, investment, or insurance advice. Before acting on any advice, please contact your personal or company advisors.